Welcome to the head-to-head backpack test, part 2. I tested 7 backpacks for a minimum of 3 days and was able to haul out a load in every backpack except for the Kifaru. It just so happened that while I had the Kifaru on, I didn't tag out and neither did the people that I was with. The goal of this video is to use each backpack in real-life hunting situations and share my likes, dislikes, comforts, frustrations, and everything else to hopefully educate you on your next backpack purchase. The amount of likes and dislikes that I had for each pack was not the ultimate deciding factor in which one I liked most. I put the most weight in comfort, ease of use, bag design, and durability. It is important to note that certain body types may require a certain backpack. These results are merely my experiences and opinions for each backpack and what was most comfortable for me.
I like the Stone Glacier, but what I don't like about it is it's almost like the design and the layout is a great idea, but some stuff needs cleaned up. You know, the pieces of strap that hook to all the buckles doesn't need to be as long as it is. The harness system and the frame is super comfortable to me and it fits my body really well, but it is nowhere near as functional and easy to use as the Exo, and it could be, it just isn't. Old Deadeye over here got an elk. I have a hind leg, front shoulder, 2 back straps, and 2 tenderloins, and the neck meat bone in, and Hannah has a front shoulder, a hind leg, and the head. Both those front shoulder and hind legs are bone in. I have the Stone Glacier, and I haven't started walking yet, but so far it feels good. I like the way that it secured the load. I like the way the load shelf works, and I like how the bag goes around the load to make it even more secure. And like I say, so far it feels pretty good. Using the Kifaru this trip, so far, feels pretty good. I really like all the organization in the pockets that the 44 mag has to offer. I don't have much weight in it, I just have my day pack type weight. But it feels good so far. Well, this is day 3 with the Kifaru, but for day mode, I've got it compressed down really nicely. I have noticed that if you have the load lifters really tight, your head hits the frame when you try to look uphill, which is kind of a given because you can see right here, that is part of the frame right there. They have like a crossbar for you to grab, or like to keep the frame from barreling. And the only other thing I've noticed is, but I think this would just be bag specific, the way the lid is designed and integrated into the bag, if you have too much stuff in there, it kind of bounces up and down as you walk. That wouldn't happen if you had a bunch of stuff in the bag though. That would obviously keep that from happening, but since I have nothing in the bag, it kind of bounces a little, but those are very minimal things. The bag itself is comfortable, the hip belt's comfortable, the shoulder's comfortable. Going up this pretty steep hill, and one thing I've noticed with the Kifaru is when you're leaning over going into the hill, you can't look up. If you stand straight up, you're fine. But when you're leaning over going uphill, so I would imagine that if you try doing like crawling or anything like that, looking up would be basically impossible. And the tighter you have the load lifters, the worse it is. That's a negative in my opinion. It's a big pet peeve of mine, not being able to look uphill with a backpack on. This is my second trip out with the new KUIU. It came in about a week ago. Yesterday I carried out 2 bone-in hindquarters on a deer and the head. I carried it for a little bit and then also rode the e-bike with it on. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this backpack. I love the Pro suspension, I love the frame, I love the Pro 2300. They also sent a 7000 bag. I have the Pro 2300 on. I love the functionality of the bag, all the zippers, every place that the zippers connect. or that the buckles connect, and how effortless it is to separate the bag from the frame to put meat in there is just incredible. I absolutely love this bag. It is one of my favorites, no problem. So really looking forward to putting it to more work and yeah, putting it to the test. But so far, I absolutely love it. So let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room with the KUIU pack. There's two elephants. One, it's not a sturdy pack and it won't stand up. And two, it's squeaky. Okay, I hauled out a whole entire deer guts in, and the only reason I did that is because I wanted to see if the pack would break. It did not. It did great, and it was fairly comfortable, okay? The squeaky. If you look and see how you have your straps done, you see this strap right here that is going over top the camera? That is what is squeaking. If I slightly loosen that, I will have no more squeaks. So it's not the pack itself, it's either the clip when you have a lot of tension, the plastic when the clip is inserted into the other clip, it squeaks as it stretches and moves back and forth, or it is squeaking whatever it is tightened over. You might think that you have a super squeaky pack, and it might just be the way the clips and what you have it tightened over. And there's all kinds of other clips on the market, and I'm not saying you should have to do that with a backpack, but if you like how comfortable this backpack is, like the way that it fits you, and the clips are what's squeaking, just change the clips. So real quick, I just wanted to show you one other thing on your KUIU pack that might be squeaking. It's the way that the strap is wrapped around the frame. So you see here how this buckle is here, and then the strap is wrapping around the edge of the frame like that. So that will cause a squeak. So if you just pop that out, and then take this and pop it right back in there like that. Now it has nothing to squeak on. What happens is you put tension, and that strap is on the side of this carbon frame, and it slides up and down with every step, and that'll create a squeak. If you really like the pack, you might as well fix the things. So I really like the pack, so I'll do what it takes to fix it. So there we have it, fixed it.
The only other time that I had the KUIU squeak is when I had a load cinched down in between the bag and the frame right here, and I don't know what it was about it that was squeaking. I don't know if the load itself was rubbing on the carbon frame. I honestly don't know, but what I do know is as soon as I took a very slight amount of tension off of all of the tension straps holding the back, compressing the load between the bag and the frame, it no longer squeaked. Not enough so that the load was moving around, but just enough that there was no squeak anymore.
First day out with the Sitka outside. I really like this backpack. It's so flipping comfortable. It's not even funny. And it just fits so nice. I just love it. And it's crazy because at first glance, you don't think it has many pockets. And then you actually use it, and you're like, holy shit. It's got a lot of pockets. It has 7. Some small, some big, some with zippers, some without. I love it. McKenna got her first bull, so packing out some meat. I'm going to stick this game bag inside here, utilizing the load shelf on the inside. I'll probably cinch everything down and then use just the big outside bag. I didn't have much in here, it was just a day hunt, so there you can see I have the load shelf here hooked up to the top of the frame there. I'm gonna zip this up and probably put the rest of my gear in the side pockets, and then this big pouch here is probably what I'm gonna do. McKenna got her elk, And I have the seek outside on. I have 2 front shoulders, 2 back straps. So I don't know how much it weighs, but it handles the load pretty well. It doesn't rock back and forth at all, which is awesome. Seems to put a lot of pressure on my lower back. Which I don't know if might just be the way that it is currently sitting on my back. I honestly don't know. Well, we are back here at camp. I'm just cleaning the bag out, and it's literally as simple as wiping the inside out with wet wipes. Due to the type of fabric it is, that's super, super handy, rather than having to throw it in the washing machine or whatever. I mean, just wipe it out with some wet wipes. You're done. So far, the initial ascent isn't too bad. I'm not overly wild about the layout of the bag. I don't like how wide the bag sits. I really like these extra stretch pockets. The lid holds the water bladder. I didn't think that I would like that at all. I don't prefer one over the other so far. Let's put it that way. When I'm walking, I can hear the Velcro on the shoulder straps, and that's kind of annoying. I really like both these 2 pockets as well. They're like that stretchy material. And you can see here I have my Peak Design camera clip hooked there on that strap of Velcro. I like the zippers into the main bag. Yeah, I really like the pocket that's down under here for putting keys and wallets or whatever else. So I don't understand the point of having these. They're supposed to hook over the edge, much like that. I don't understand why you wouldn't just have this ladder lock hooked right here to the top where this load lifter is. Make one more loop or whatever you have to do, and put the ladder lock for the lid right there, and then you wouldn't ever have to worry about it sliding off that thing. Dennis sent me new pads for the hip belt, and it definitely made it more comfortable. They're not quite as thick. They're a little bit thinner. The hip belt's just so wide. Like when I'm walking right now, hardly even notice it. Still touching my ribs, but it with the new hip pads, it doesn't hurt at all. You know, when I'm upright, which is great. It's only like when I sit down, or if I really crank on it and cinch it down super tight, bending over, things like that. This is the 5th or 6th outing with the initial ascent. Another huge minus is looking uphill. Like, that's all I got right there. And that sucks. I do like the bag and its functionality, but it's not all that comfortable. And I hate that you can't look uphill. Hannah is going to use the initial ascent. I'm going to use the load panel. We'll get the elk in there, get it all set up the right way. We use the load pannier on the initial ascent, and it works really well. Like, the load is, you could probably throw it off the mountain and I don't know if the load would come out.
So far, it feels like the pad they have here on your lower back, it's sliding down my back. And I have the waist belt cinched tight around the hip, and I just feel like it's secure in the front. It's sitting on my hip bones well, but the back seems to slide down so far, so.
I don't really like, on the initial ascent, how they have a strap going upward and then a strap going downward. It makes, their thought is they want to keep the load centered, but it doesn't make any sense because your load is trying to go down. Every strap should be trying to lift that load up and hold it secured upright and not letting it go down. And this strap here is pulling the load down. So if you are walking around without the bag and you don't have this top buckle clipped, this load, the bag then sags because of this load, this thing pulling it down. So anyways, we're gonna walk out of here, and yeah, she got an elk. Maiden voyage for the Sitka Mountain Hauler 4000 and I. 3 sleeping bags, 3 sleeping pads, clothes for 2 people, food for 4. Oh, I got a tent too. Fishing gear, battery charger, laptop, all kinds of stuff. Got the whole family going camping this weekend. So off we go. I do like the pockets and the organization and all that stuff. See, from walking like this uphill, I can't look uphill, so that sucks. The waist belt is, or the hip belt is super comfortable, which is awesome. The clip for the water bladder doesn't fit all water bladders, so that's kind of annoying. I had to take the spring out so I could get it through the metal clip piece spring thing. I had to take it out so I could get it through my water bladder and then put it back in. So that's annoying. Other than that, so far, that's all I have to say.
Hello everybody, I just got an elk. I'm using the Sitka MTN Hauler, the 4000. We're gonna load up some meat inside of this meat shelf. I'm gonna pull my water out, purely because I don't want to just like smash it. So I'm gonna pull this out here, and basically what I'm gonna do next is I'm just gonna set my meat in there. I'm going to also expand the bag. Okay, this is a boned out hind quarter. So you go ahead, you start dropping that in there. And what these are gonna do is they're gonna hook all the way up here at the top of the frame. So I'm gonna push that down a little farther because I'm gonna put more in there. I'm gonna put a boned out front quarter up here, undo this and this, let that ride a little bit lower. So now, I'm gonna take these orange straps, connect them to the orange buckles, pull it tight. Same with over here. Pull it tight. Now, I will zip the horseshoe zipper. You can put your water back in now if you want. I just didn't want it underneath the load. Now, you can go ahead and start cinching your sides down. Definitely cinch your bottom down because you don't want your load to sag. Okay, the bottom is cinched down. And there you have it. You just roll up the top and good to go.
It's been feeling great. I really like the dedicated water sleeve. One thing I've already noticed, there's no looking uphill. So, steep hills, obviously. But it's really comfortable, whatever type of foam is in the shoulder straps and the waist belt. Super comfortable. All the pockets and straps were nice. I have the load carrier in because we're hoping to get an elk, pack him out. Coming out heavy with the Exo. I have 2 front shoulders, 2 back straps, 2 tenderloins. Load shelf worked amazing. I put all that meat in a game bag, pulled the Velcro off the top, opened up the bag to the frame, put the meat bag in there, tighten everything down, put the bag back. It's just so easy to access. I really like the side pocket as well. It's actually stiff enough that you can zip it open and closed with one hand. So that's a huge bonus. I do not like how the side pocket attaches. It is, I don't know whoever thought of that. I hate it. There's too many Velcro in too many places, and it's a real pain in the ass.
So on another trip, I used the Exo for 9 days straight, and for whatever reason, this lumbar pad started to make my lower back pretty sore. On that trip, it rained quite a bit one day, and after it rained, the Exo became squeaky, which was pretty unfortunate. In closing, the backpacks that are my favorite are the Sitka MTN Hauler 4000, KUIU with the Pro 2300 bag, the Seek Outside Lantern on the integrated platform, and the Stone Glacier Sky 5900. The other 3 bags just weren't as comfortable for me as these 4. I just want to throw out a quick warning before diving into the next section. In order to be able to choose between these 4, I had to get extremely picky. I must say that my go-to backpack is going to be the KUIU with the Pro suspension and the Pro 2300 bag, as long as you can solve the squeak, which I covered earlier in this video. The bag layout is amazing. Getting to the load shelf is extremely simple. It's plenty tough. And the harness system is not only incredibly comfortable, but it's also very easy to adjust, and I had 0 slippage off my hips. If I can't get the squeak out of the KUIU for whatever reason, up next is the Seek Outside Lantern. This backpack is extremely comfortable, and I really appreciated the flexibility of things like the floating or captured hip belt. I must say, one of my favorite things about this backpack is the design of the frame. Does it pivot and move with your body, which is extremely essential when you're going to full draw? The Sitka backpack and Stone Glacier backpack were both hot on the heels of KUIU and Seek Outside. I'll cover the Stone Glacier first. I'm just gonna take the lid off here, set it out of the way. I think the Stone Glacier is just slightly behind the KUIU and Seek Outside because I feel it just has too many straps going to too many places. The harness system and the waist belt and the adjustability is extremely easy, and it was very comfortable, and I had 0 slippage under heavy loads, but it just wasn't quite as comfortable as the Seek Outside and the KUIU. I really appreciate the design of this frame, as it also allowed me to move when I was going to full draw, crawling, or other things like that. As for the Sitka, I really loved this backpack. The only reason it is behind the KUIU and Seek Outside is because for me, it wasn't quite as comfortable. Now don't get caught up on it being behind. As I stated before, I had to be extremely picky to choose between the top 4. The layout of the bag itself is great. I love both of these missile pockets on the sides right here. There's a missile pocket there, a missile pocket there. I love the mesh pocket behind the 2 missile pockets. In closing, just because I didn't mention the Exo, the Kifaru, or the initial Ascent doesn't mean they are bad bags. They just weren't as comfortable for me as these other 4. Again, my goal was to use each bag in a real-life hunting situation and share my likes, dislikes, comforts, frustrations, and everything else to hopefully educate you on your next backpack purchase. If you're interested in viewing individual backpack videos, head on over to Battle Mountain Media YouTube channel. There, I will be posting videos covering each one of these backpacks separately. I appreciate your attention and hope you found the head-to-head backpack test part 2 beneficial.